Hello. Hello. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It has been some time. Fancy seeing everybody here today. It's been a couple of weeks since the last time we had a live stream, so it is glad to be back, although the internet doesn't seem to be very happy with my presence here at the V1 HQ. If it continues to drop off, I might do a restart of OBS, and if that doesn't work, I don't know what to tell you. It's starting to really affect me deep down on this whole live streaming thing, the internet not being stable. Anyway, welcome back, everybody. Glad to have you here on the channel. Nevertheless, it's always a good time we get to go live, get to hang out again. I see Lawrence in chat, AJ, Funari, Captain, McGee, Delta Tango, Parrish, Mickey D, Zippy Zapple, the Green Dot himself, Charlie, Romeo, good to see you, my friend. Taylor, Earl, Tyson, Tower at Ray, Mr. Chicago, good to see you. Merlin 20, Al W. I think I already shout out Al W. No, Al W, good to see you. Always a pleasure, man, from the DFW. Delta Tango, Michael, Bob A, and many more. JP, right there, kicking it off with 5 gifted memberships to the channel. JP, that is very, very kind of you, sir. Very gracious gift. Thank you, JP. Appreciate it. If you picked up a membership from JP, make sure you shout him out. Say thank you. That's very kind of him. Turn in the chat. Green, very classy indeed. Very classy indeed. How y'all been? What y'all been up to? Huh? What y'all been doing the last couple weeks? Y'all been flying? Y'all been simming? Man. All right. I'm looking at this internet thing here. Hold on a sec, guys. I am going to try. We're already upwards of 10% dropped frameage. We'll roll with it a little longer. We'll see what happens. No, man. Chase B, good to see us. It's actually disregard straight ahead on wireless. Turn right on fiber. Taxi straight ahead. Chase B, man, I'm telling you, if I had fiber, it'd be a totally different ball game, man. Totally different ball game. Hakan, good to see you. Hello from the Fenix Airbus. Well, from the Fenix Airbus, that's a good one. Hopefully, we'll be seeing some Fenix stuff here pretty soon. I was going to jump in the Airbus today, but I figured let's do 1 or 2 more yoke flights, and then we're going to hopefully be Airbus for a while because the IE should be coming out soon, right? I have an unofficial release date for you. I am starting a slew of trips, and I'll be gone for a wedding next weekend. So the Fenix will release the IEs either tomorrow evening, because I then go on a trip Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday they might release it on the 26th because I will also be in LA for a wedding. So that's my official release date. It's either going to be this Friday, tomorrow late night, or later afternoon, or it's going to be next Thursday when I'm gone. Either way, so it is what it is, but I will be excited nevertheless whenever we do get a chance to see the new update from the Fenix. But today, let's talk about what we're in. We are in the Leonardo MD80, the Mad Dog, kind of a I wouldn't say forgotten aircraft, but just an aircraft that I don't fly all that much on this channel for multiple reasons. I just updated it and I gave the default sounds a shot, and I don't know how you might as well play with your sim on mute. They are so atrocious on default. I don't know how Leonardo is, is okay with that. But I did install the FT Sim sound pack, get some engine sounds in there, makes it a little bit better. The cockpit up front is inherently quiet on MD80, no doubt about it, but just by default, it's just not even, it's a complete miss by default. So if you do go down the route of purchasing this aircraft, make sure you do look into a sound pack solution, which is unfortunate because it is quite pricey. Gabriel Hyde, or Gabriel HD, thank you for the gifted membership, my friend. 1 more gifted sub. Looks like Tukatar, I got to pick that one up. That's very kind of you, Gabriel. Appreciate the support. And AJ coming in with an 11-month membership, Chad. He says, how many of those donuts made it into other people's bellies? Quite a few, AJ. I've been good. Although next month it's going to be, we're going to hit the donuts hard, man. I got a lot of MSP coming up next month. Was this the new update, Captain McGee? I think there's a new one, right? This is I don't think it's the latest and great. I mean, I just updated it today, but the update's been out for a few days. I don't know if there's another big update coming or not, but this is check my version number on the EFB here. We'll take a look at it. But Lawrence says, I need to give the dog more time. I can't hop right into it as a comfort food like I can with the bus or 7.3. Exactly, Lauren. This airplane takes a little bit more of finagling. And, wow, we got quite a few aircraft on the ramp here. This is pretty cool. One thing that kind of drives me mad with the Mad Dog 2 is the implementation of, like, the way I don't know. I just feel like there could have been ways to do things better with the EFB. But I think I've got a handle on it. Let's try to jump in and have ourselves a day. Beautiful morning here, Hamilton Island. I would like to see you fly the DC-8 and Microsoft. No DC-8 for the time being, my friend. No DC-8 for the time being. Your Jets got a big win on the Eagles, and my Lions are 5-1. Mr. Martini, I don't know what's happening with Jets and Eagles or with the Jets and Lions, but hey, I'm okay with it. I was going to fly Newark to Philadelphia on this stream, but I figured we better pick up where we left off in the Australia tour. So here we are. We're back in the Leo. Let's go ahead and before we turn on that, let's go ahead and do ground service. Let's go ahead and connect the GPU. So I've already loaded up my flight plan, first sim brief, to the EFB, so we should be pretty good there. GPU is connected. Let's go ahead and get the battery on. We'll go ahead and lock it into position. Make sure all the sounds are up. Oh, the MD8 was updated this. Oh, yeah. So, AJ, this is the latest update then. This is the latest and greatest update because I just updated it today. It did have an update, and it should be, it'll be my first attempt with it here. So let's go ahead and get the buses online. I don't know why the sound of it almost sounded like a pack spooled up there, but this is the FT Sim sound pack, so your sounds may sound different. If you have the default sound, you probably don't hear anything. We'll get the logo lights on here initially. We'll get the thunderstorm light on, or the cockpit floodlight, just because it's kind of dim in here right now. And I'm just going to get some other lighting situations up here. Let's go to the panel light overhead. There we go. I do love the cockpit of this airplane. You know, as many gripes as I say with the MD80 of the Leonardo in general, the cockpit I do love. I really enjoy the cockpit. The texturing on this airplane is also pretty darn good. Look at those flap textures. Wing textures are pretty good. I do enjoy the visuals this airplane brings to the table. It is a visually appealing aircraft, no doubt about it. I have a question. Did you hear about the 330 Neo from Latin VFR? We'll talk about that in flight because I need to know more about it. First time I saw it was last night, XB72 streaming. So it looked pretty interesting. I think it's pretty much a standard serving from Latin VFR. You know, almost seemed like a default 320 system-wise. But I mean, the visuals. I mean, the external model looked pretty good. I thought it looked pretty good. We'll hit the magic barrel ref key. And I think we're pretty much good to go there. Now, I'm looking at the frames. The frames seem to be 11.8% drop still. I don't know what is going on with that. Should I try to restart OBS here? I'm wondering if I should do an OBS restart before we get all fired up here. We'll let it rock here for a few more minutes. I said that like 3 times. But let's come down here. Let's go into the menu page. So we'll go right to ACARS. I've been splitting this up. So I put ACARS on page 2. We'll do a pre-flight. We'll do a NIT data. I don't know why I do this because I can't seem to get it to copy over into this one here. So I end up having to do it manually. I think I'm messing something up, but either way, it's fine. It's not. We have a very short route today. It's only 2 waypoints. So we're going to go ahead and return to here. We'll go to flight plan. We'll go ahead and request our flight plan. Oh, I'm sorry. We'll go flight plan here. Oh, we already hit it. So now we should get some received messages here in a minute. We'll leave that page up. We're going to be departing Hamilton Island, which is Yankee Bravo Hotel Mike, and we're headed over to Cairns, which is, I've been there in real life, and we're gonna do some TBM flying out of Cairns. It's pronounced Cairns, like C-I-N-Z or C-I-N-S, even though it looks like Carnes. I believe it's what was it? Yankee YBCS. That's where we go. There we go, and beautiful. Now, like I said, watch how short this route is. Departure, we're going to depart runway 14. That's what the winds are favoring. I've been looking at the windsock. Off of 14, here's our flight plan and our preliminary weight. So I'm actually go to flight plan page right here, and you can see, here we go, there's our flight plan, blah blah blah, takeoff weight 126.4. I did get pounds, so real quick here, this might drive you nuts. Speedmonitor saved me before, and I remember to do it before this flight. If you have anything, especially if you've been flying TBM around and you have anything in your aircraft configuration like an N number or any type of registration number, it's going to throw off your indicator and your quantity in pounds and kilograms. So you have to make sure there's nothing in the aircraft selection menu as far as customization like call sign and all that stuff. You got to clear that out. So like for the TBM, I had 357 Bravo Mike in there. I just leave it. But for some reason, if you leave that in there for this airplane, it's going to throw off your weights. So I wanted pounds. I have pounds set in the load manager on the desktop app, and then I also have to make sure there's nothing in the aircraft menu in Microsoft Flight Simulator to get pounds. So I just wanted to throw that out there because it can be a little bit frustrating. Benny, 34 months. Thank you for the support, my friend. He says, hello, Captain. Happy to see you. Benny, it's good to be back, my friend. It's been too long. It's been far too long. We'll talk about life, once we get up to cruise altitude. But good to see you, man. All right, our flight plan. We're going. Oh, let's see. I gotta get it from Batson. There we go. Ovron. So one waypoint. We're gonna basically be heading off the ground. Ovron. OVRON. We're going to go direct to Ovron, and then from Ovron, we are joining Quebec 67 to Charlie Sierra, and we're not even going to shoot an arrival. We're going to shoot a localizer approach, hopefully raw data, if I can figure it out. But shoot a raw data approach localizer off the Charlie Sierra VOR into Cairns. So that looks good there. We'll go back to our departure arrival. We'll go back to the index page, YBCS arrival. We're going to do the Loc Zulu 15 off Charlie Sierra with no star. We'll execute that. Boom. That is done. We can go over to the perf init page, and then that brings us back to our flight plan, and we'll do our crew message situation here. That looks good. Takeoff weight, takeoff CG, all that good stuff. Preliminary weights are set. So I'm going to come over here to the good old EFB. I stuck in the VOR Zulu. Yep, that's what I got. That's what I got. The same one. We'll go to the weight and balance page here, which I've already imported from SimBrief. So you can see this is what we got. Looks like we're looking for a fuel of 8.6. Oh, on each tank. So 17.3 is what we got. So that looks good. And so I will put in the zero. I will put on the zero fuel weight of 117.7. 117.7. We'll put that right there. We're taking a reserve of 2 thou, and our fuel on board and our scheduled, we don't need that. It's going to be 17.3/no, 17.3, and we do not need to do any fuel scheduling for this flight. So that's good. Our cruise altitude threw us up to 340. That's a little aggressive. Let's go ahead and change that. Let's make it 3. Tell you what, let's make it 300. We're going to change that. 300 is set. Takeoff. This is what we got. Gross weight of 135. And we also need to come back to here, and let's go ahead and start the fueling process. So I'm going to go to aircraft services, go to ground, and this is what we need. So we'll go ahead and click this, and it's going to begin the refueling process for us. I thought Anwar, you thought I hated this aircraft? I don't hate this aircraft. I do not think it is worth the money. I just don't think it's worth the price for what you get. I mean, systems-wise, phenomenal. But if you have phenomenal systems, then you need... Like, there should be no reason I have to run 2 background apps and the EFB, and they all have to be in conjunction and have your perfect settings in Microsoft so you don't screw up your units. Shouldn't have to deal with any of that, and I shouldn't have to pay for a sound pack for an airplane that's almost $100. That's why I don't recommend this airplane. With that said, systems fidelity... It's pretty darn good. It does things that Rotate never did. So you just got to pick your poison. If money is no issue for you, then you're probably going to love the airplane. All right, so fueling is good. Now I want to do. We're not going to do stair. I'm going to hit start boarding here. But I wonder. Let me try GSX first, real quick. We'll go ahead and request boarding. No crew. They're boarding now, and I'm going to go ahead and hit start boarding here. So I don't know if there's a way to sync that up or not, but we're going to go ahead and have GSX come up to the airplane. And while we're sitting here, let's go ahead and get the fuel pump on. We'll go start pump on. I don't think we actually need the start pump right now, but let's go ahead and get the APU fired up, and we get some air to the cabin. We'll press and hold that for about 3 seconds, and then we'll have the APU spool up. Looks like we got to turn on the hydraulics to drop that stair a little bit further. Someone please explain to me why I paid $35 for Latin VFR 330 when I downloaded the free Curo Mod 7.8 for a long haul. It's a great question, Hootie the Horse. Great question. Chaos, good to see you, man. No 330 today. Ooh, open rear exit. Well, that's pretty cool. It actually tells you. I hear the APU spooling up. We need some hydraulic pressure. There we go. Look at that. Now we go ahead and turn off the aux pump. There we go. Aux pump is off. APU is up on the line. So with APU on line, let's go APU on bus like so. With APU on bus, I'll turn off the external power bus. We'll turn on the APU air, and we'll get the leads on, or the supply on, so we can get some air to the cabin. I'm going to put that, if I put that in auto, we should. That's for start. We don't want that. Let's go ahead and disconnect the ground GPU. No longer need you. Why am I not getting any air pressure up here? There we go. Well, no, there's our air start pressure. You need the right fuel pump for running the APU? No, technically you don't, because it's running right now and the APU's running. We don't have a fuel pump. We're fueling right now, so I'm going to wait till we're done fueling, and then I'll turn the fuel pump on. Benny, I do like this airport. Hamilton Island here, phenomenal little piece of scenery. I'm glad we picked it up. So, I have... I gotta turn down these. Maybe I'll turn the floodlight off, turn the panel down. Oh, turn the panel off, maybe. Panel off, floodlight on. Reset the ACARS message. Magic Barrel Ref key is set. I'm curious. It wouldn't be cross, please, would it? Open. Oh yeah, open. There we go. Now we got pressure. Now we got air to the cabin. There we go. I just read Amir's comment to the new engine models. No auto start when OAT greater than 40. That's interesting, Tyson. I saw that as well. I've started the engines above 40 degrees OAT, and it gets hot. You can have a hot start, an automatic. So basically what happens is if it detects in an automatic start, if it thinks that you're going to have a hot start, it will abort the start for you. So it is recommended to do a manual start. Ironically, I just did manual starts yesterday, 2 nights ago. Had an airplane, had ignition system defer, so we had to do manual starts all the time for it. But yeah, it can happen, but I don't think it would happen every single time. So, and I guess it depends on the, is it a true 40 OAT or is it like 40 on the ramp, because sometimes those OAT gauges because it could be like, oh, the Las Vegas METAR says it's 37 outside, but the OAT on the lower ECAM shows 40, but it can get close. I've seen it numerous times where we've had a EGT, a near exceedance just on takeoff, applying takeoff power out of Las Vegas or Phoenix when it's like 125 degrees outside, 120 degrees, because until you start rolling to get that air to cool the engine, you're right on the limit. Sometimes, especially at 321s, I noticed this more so. They seem to ride right up on those EGT limits when it's super hot. Chaos says it can happen, not always. Oh yeah, but that's good. As long as it doesn't happen every single time, then that's cool. Yeah, for sure, it's definitely possible. And it could also depend, if you have a light tailwind, so you got a 10 knot tailwind, and you're starting in 40C, you probably might have a hot start just because of the tailwind factor alone. It might even happen at like 38, 39C. So we have procedures in our books for manual starts, and there's you always try to do an automatic if you can, but if it fails, then you can do a manual start. Just got to be careful your engine cycle times, your starter limitations, and all that. But a manual start, not a big deal. Just an extra step. Basically, converting you to a Boeing driver is what happened. Jeff, I saw the TBM got an update. I'm super excited about it. We're going to be flying the TBM out of Cairns to Lizard Island. I think that'll be a really fun one. And then once we get back to Cairns, I think we're going to try the 787 back to Sydney, and then, or it'd be a 321. If Phoenix releases a 321, maybe we can do a 321 or 319 back down to Sydney. If not, it's not released, then we're gonna, that's it. Then we're gonna do our Cairns, Lizard Island, back to Sydney, and then we got to do our long haul back to Los Angeles, which I don't know how that's gonna how we're gonna handle that one, but that's gonna be an interesting stream. Unofficially, when V1 goes out of town on vacation at the end of the month. Exactly. So my official release for the Phoenix is probably going to be either tomorrow night. When I'm off tomorrow. I mean, they could release it tomorrow. I'll stream them. I have a turn on Saturday. So they could release them on Saturday, which it wouldn't be the end. I don't think they're going to release on Saturday. It wouldn't be the end of the world if they released them tomorrow, because I'd be able to fly them tomorrow and maybe Saturday. But then Sunday, going to LA for 24 hours, come back Monday night, be too tired, I'm not going to stream. And then Tuesday, I go back out on the backside of the clock. I go back to LA, 24 hours, come back at like 1 a.m. on Thursday. And then I go back to LA on Friday, and I'll be there for 5 days, for 4 days. So my official release date is officially the 26th of October. That is my unofficial release date is the 26th of October. It wouldn't be tomorrow, because that would be too easy. You know, it'd be too easy. I'd be able to fly it, get to hang out, see all the awesomeness. No, it'll be the 26th. No touring of the Western OZ, no fucker. Lauren, there's just not enough to look at, unfortunately, on the western side. I tried, we started going west, but when we got all the way out there, I'm like, yeah, if we go further up to the west, it's going to be too long. There's not much else we can do up there, so we're just going to roll with it. But there's some great stuff in the U.S. I want to do with the Fokker. You know, I want to do, looks like San Diego. I want to go to the BMW AMG World, San Diego, and I want to go to the Palm Springs. So there's a lot of cool stuff happening stateside that I'd like to check out. So we'll wrap up the tour here pretty soon. All right, 1-4. I guess while we're boarding, let's go ahead and finish the rest of this. No ATC on. Let's go ahead and select our cruise altitude of flight level 300. We also got to finish the rest of our speeds. I think we'll just probably be V2 in there somewhere like that. While we wait, let's do our speeds right now, because it looks like we're done fueling, so we can make everybody happy. The right fuel pump is coming on. There we go. Crisis averted. Perf data. Here we go. Hamilton Island, dry conditions. We're going to zero the wind out. OAT. We're going to not force normal. Takeoff weight is... what did I say it was going to be? Let me go back. I guess we got to go back to this thing. Takeoff weight 134.3. 134.3, and we'll calculate that. Flap 15, 31, 35, 44. 130, 131, 135, 144. That is set. Flap 15. So we're going to come down here. We're going to select... Oh, flap 15 is super lame. Flap 15. Takeoff CG is 14.7. So then we'll go ahead and select 14.7, which is going to be right about here. Now we'll go ahead and get the long trim moving. Alright, that looks good. We'll put this on transponder. We need to go on Unicom 122.8. Is that COM 1? No, it's not. This is COM 22.8, we'll just switch that over. 122.8 is set, 2000 transponder, flap 15. So let's go ahead and dial her in here. Which I don't think you actually need to use dial a flap when you have an indicated flap. So I don't know if you have to actually do dial a flap. See what I mean? So I think if our flap was 22 for takeoff, then you would do dial a flap and it'll lock 22 in here. But because 15 is a hard set, I don't actually think you need to use dial a flap, but either way, we've got it set up here. We'll go ahead and test our EPIRs. Good. We'll go ahead and turn those on after engine start. Looks like everybody's pretty much done boarding. Don't make the Mad Dog mad. Jeff L, appreciate the support, my friend. 16 months as a man. Music, entertainment clips. What does the ACAR system have to offer for this airplane? To my knowledge, not much. It's just kind of there. I think there's a way I've loaded the airplane into the route page or into the route file in your documents folder, which then you can pull a company route, and then you don't have to program the flight plan. But again, for almost $100, it shouldn't be that complex. But yeah, if you want to use a flight plan download, you basically download your flight plan off SimBrief. You drop it into the flight plan routes folder in your documents page when the airplane downloads, and then you can pull it from a company route in the init page. But like I said, we only had 2 waypoints, so it's not a big deal to just program it. All right. Swarm, 49 months of support. Wow, look at that epaulet, Swarm. Appreciate the support. SR-72 on the way back to LAX. If we had one, Swarm, we might. Appreciate the support. 49 months. Goodness. Thank you, Swarm. Appreciate you, dude.
All right. Traffic, Compass Link 911, departing runway 14, runway heading turn to the left.
We are going to prepare for pushback and departure. But we're going to just basically cancel it. We're going to cancel it. So we need to also close up the doors. I just wanted the guys to get out of the way downstairs. So let's go aircraft services. Let's go aft stair. Aft stair is closed. We can actually leave hydraulics on for start. Hydraulic pumps trans is on. It's another ACAR's message, or a flight attendant calling. I'm not sure what she wants. I'll actually probably close the door.
Hamilton traffic, Quadrant link 1175 is going to backtrack and line up runway 14.
Fuel pumps are coming on. We're going system A. Captain there. Emergency lights are armed. Seat belts on. Don't need any airfoil. We do need our windshield. That's coming on. And landing altitude is basically 0. Magic barrel refs have been set. Overhead panel looks good to me. Let's go ahead and kill the thunderstorm light. That's coming down. Let's come over here. I should have had these on. We'll go position, anti-collision, beacon light is on. We got a couple back taxis. We're actually, we're just going to start and then disconnect so they can drive away, and then we're going to pull out, do a back taxi. Look at that Qantas link with the IAE. Oh, no, those are CFMs. CFM. Nope, those are IAEs. Those are IAEs. Look at that. Can you imagine Fenix IAEs coming at you at a simulator near you? All right, we're just going to go straight pushback manual stop. I'm going to release the brake, and then I'm going to go ahead and stop here and complete pushback. All right, brakes are set. He's going to get out of here. Been a long time since I was in the sim. I'm still on X-Plane 11, but no Microsoft X-Plane 12. MSFS worth it, especially considered 24 coming out at some point. Electricity machine. I think Microsoft Flight Simulator is definitely worth the investment. You've got some great freeware airplanes. You've got the fly-by-wire 320. You've got the Citation Longitude, which is a mod you can make your default citation great. Then you have some very high quality add-ons for a relatively low price, such as the Fenix 320, which I think is around $50. The PMDG 737-600, you could pick that up for $36. So I think Microsoft is highly worth it. 24 is going to support airplanes from Microsoft 2020, so no harm, no foul there. Let's watch this A320 blast off out of here. And then we'll start up. Yeah, the electricity machine, the 73600 is their most cost-effective option, and it has all of the features that you see on the 7 and 800 and their 900. Oh, that's awesome. Look at that. All right, let's go ahead and start them up, shall we? We'll go starting engine number 2 first. We've got bleed pressure. Our bleeds are off. Cross bleeds are open. And I feel like I'm missing something. No. Here we go. Starting engine 2.
Hamilton traffic, please jet 27 Whiskey Juliet. We'll be turning left off the ramp and holding short of the active.
Much more believable sounds here with the sound pack. Without the sound pack, these engine startup sounds are non-existent. Tiger Dude, bad news, I'm on the verge of being fired. Uh-oh, all I can do is hope the union will bail me out. Tiger Dude, well, I am sorry to hear, man. That is very unfortunate. Hopefully the union will come to your support, man. Sounds like we had a good start on number 2. We'll go ahead and do a quick engine reset there. That's coming down. We'll do start A. No need for start pump. Here we go. Oh, hate it when I do that. Turn in 1.
Hamilton traffic, easy jet. 27 Whiskey Juliet. We will be backtracking on 4.
Max motoring and hit it. Yes, this is a pay-war airport, Benny. This is, gosh, I can't remember who did it, but if you just look up Hamilton Island, Microsoft Flight Sim, I think there's only one person that's done it. It's a great, great little airplane. I love the scenery. If you didn't check it out, when we flew into here on the, I think it was the last stream we flew into here. Beautiful harbor. I mean, great little island for touring around or bebopping around in like a prop or something too. Aviation dude, you missed the 80. First plane I remember being on when I was young. I miss it and I don't, you know. I miss seeing it. I don't miss riding on them because typically we were in the back and it just was not fun. All right, APU bus is coming off. Air conditioning is coming off. APU master is coming off. We'll go auto here, and that all looks good. I believe we leave. Do we leave the cross feed open? Closed for takeoff. I think we leave them open. Hydraulic pumps are set. Let's go ahead and extend flaps 15, which is kind of a lame flap setting for takeoff. I was hoping we get 24. Is that 15? That's 11. There we go. One more. Flap 15. Here it comes. All right, flaps 15 are set. We'll do a quick flight control check. And we'll go takeoff TO1. We'll go flight directors. 300. We'll pull the arm U and then hitch U. And we are set. Let's get out of here. We'll go nose lights on bright. Hamilton traffic 12357. We're going to back taxi runway 14 after departing traffic to Hamilton Island. Let's go. Hopefully we can clear this guy here under our wing. Do you know if there's any difference between the Mad Dog and the 717? Yeah, Benny, there is a little bit of a difference. Now, especially if you look at the current 717s that are flying right now, like Delta's got all of them. They're all retrofit as well with glass cockpits, as much glass as they can get in there, so they're actually pretty modern looking. A little bit shorter than the Mad Dog, but still similar in operation. Similar in operation, but by no means is it the same. Alright, I think there's someone... Yeah, let's go ahead and stop. We'll go ahead and set our brakes. Flight's coming off. Hamilton traffic, Qantas 337, open short, runway 14, Hamilton. Alright, let's watch this Green Dot Aviation blast off here. Captain, thinking about getting the FT sim for this jet. Is it still worth it? Yes, Arco. If you have this, jet, the FT sim sound pack is a must-have. So, it's definitely a must-have. If you're flying this airplane around without the FT sim sound pack, I feel sorry for you. It's that bad. The default sounds are that bad. I would rather fly with no sounds. But the FT Sim Pack, I think it's about $5. You can subscribe to the Patreon for a month and then download whatever you need. And if you don't want to continue to support them, you can, cancel anytime, really. Oh, look at that. That is pretty cool. Hamilton traffic, Qantas 337, we're going to back taxi 14, Hamilton. Wow, look at that beautiful departure. Looking good. Alright, since we're turning onto the runway, let's get all our lights on. And this will also, we don't have to mess with it when we are taxiing. Now, why do we have a red light here? Why do you takeoff disagree? There we go. I had to hit the flap notch one more time. Get that red light out. So we're takeoff config. That red light down there was takeoff disagree. I think that's because I had that flap 15 dial flap in there. I should have just not used it, and then when I would have selected D10 for 15, I wouldn't have popped up. All right, look at that. See, this is good. I like the sounds that they have from FT Sim. Make this airplane much more enjoyable. And on the textures, though, Leonardo textures are pretty good. All right, remember, if you like this content, we haven't streamed in a while, smash down that like button. Helps the channel out. Click my V-speeds here. There we go. V-speeds are set. And actually, I'm going to bug 250.
Hamilton traffic, EasyJet 27, Whiskey Juliet, climbing for 360,
nice
heading 310. We'll join the track once we're clear of the aerospace.
The aerospace. Do a little cheat mode here. No cams today. I don't have my cams set up. But we got to remember that you could easily snub this nose wheel on the 80, so you got to watch your ground speed when you make these steep, sharp turns. I think there's a pretty neat video. Well, neat for us to watch, not neat for the crew. It was the Delta 80 lining up. I think it was Delta. It might have been an American MD80 lining up. And the nose wheel was completely snubbed over 90 degrees and it's just burning it when they attempted their takeoff roll. The nose wheel wasn't quite straight when they added power. They slowed down, remedied it, and then took off, but kind of an interesting little video. Alright, runway 14 checks. On departure, we're going to fly heading 140. Let's get out of here. Hamilton traffic, Qantas 357, departing runway 14. All right, here we go. We're going to spool them up about 50. Nice and slow, and auto throttle on. Eeper, TO, here we go.
Takeoff thrust set.
Takeoff thrust set. Nice little crossing. There's our clamp. Quick outside shot. Ah, watch your
80
ears.
knots.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be so loud when we rotate. Turn the sounds down. Work out that crosswind correction here as we get ready to rotate.
V1. Rotate.
Don't hang that wing down. Nice and easy. Positive rate. Gear up. Fly with.
Rate.
Oh yeah, look at that. That is a thing of beauty. Sounds really good. FT Sim sounds are really good. That's what it's supposed to sound like. That is some serious juice out of here. Actually pitch up a little bit more even. All right, there's we're over our acceleration, so let's go ahead and select VNav, climb thrust, heading,
Climb thrust set.
Hamilton traffic, Qantas 357. We're going to make a right crosswind departure out of 2.2, last call Hamilton. Make a turn out to the right here. Flaps 11. It's me trimming it. 180. Flap 0, slats are still extended. All right, I'm going to come down to the box here. Let's go direct to Ovron. Execute, left, right turn, and nav track to the right. It's gonna be a type. We might have to redirect it here in a little bit. Coming up on our clean speed. Slats 0. Love the slats on the MD80. MD80 slats are just awesome. Accelerating now at 250 knots. Ooh, watch that altitude. Lower that nose a little bit too low there. Tell you what, let's go direct Roomka. Roomka, direct to, execute. Accelerating to 250k knots. Hand fly's pretty darn good. Now we're hands off, we're trimmed out. Let's go autopilot on. FMS Eeper, climbing to 300. We're nav track with VNav climb arm. We'll recenter our heading bug around. Spin this sucker up. Oh, looking good. So much juice, I developed diabetes. Jeez, Captain McGee. Into the clouds. Look at the landing light there and the humidity. Pretty sweet. Look at that view. Cornelius Nimbus, good to see you, man. Welcome. Love that. I fast forwarded the clock about 4 or 5 hours. So I think it's 6:50 local time here in Hamilton Island on the east coast of Australia. Zoom our range out a little bit more. We are looking good. Outside air temp, we're sat plus 11. Look at that breakout. They don't really have a good XP view. There we go. Almost looks like a Falcon nose. Look at that view. Man, it's been a while since I've been able to enjoy the views of Microsoft, huh? MD80 all day long from MCI to the hubs of DFW, Atlanta and Detroit. No beauty queen, just a mad dog. Cody, indeed, man. That was the bread and butter of the 80s. I read an account by an 80 driver that extended the landing lights would give you 100 if people in on descent, extra drag. Yeah, I believe it. I definitely believe it. You can hear it. Probably helps slow you down a little bit, too. Go through 10. We will go ahead and clean everything else up. This is just so much better than UK TV. There's nothing good on TV anymore, is there, Google? Good to see you, man. Hope all is well on your side. I know you're itching to get that Latin VFR 330 Neo, Google. We're the Magdog division, which is primarily designed for military. Why they climb so fast. I don't know if that, I mean, the straight turbo jet, it's an early model turbo jet. Is there any bypass air on the JT8Ds? Very little. But yeah, that was, I don't know if, I wouldn't say designed just for military. I mean, maybe, but that was the technology of engines back then, is bypass air and being quiet and fuel efficient wasn't a priority. It was about how fast can you climb, how fast can you get up to altitude. You know, fuel costs and everything were super low. So that wasn't a priority. Now, everything we do is we got to make, you know, super noise conscious, super fuel conscious. So basically, back in the day of the 80 design and the JT8Ds, engineers would come together and say, okay, here's an airplane. Let's draw it out. Let's make it. Here's a real beautiful airplane. Oh, this is going to look good. Beautiful performance. And then they engineered to make that design work. Now, they go the opposite way. They go, okay, we need to have this amount of fuel flow. We need to have this amount of noise and this amount of reducing the drag or whatever compared to that. And then it put it all into a computer and it spits out an Airbus. That's basically how airplanes are made. 1.07 bypass or something small like that on the versus like the 8 on the Pratt & Whitneys. So pretty low bypass, 1.07 bypass ratio. So it does have some bypass air, albeit very minimal. We're out of 10,000 feet. We're accelerating to our climb out speed 300 knots. We're going to flight level 300. Our lights are off. Flaps are config 0. Everything is good. Looking good. Cabin is pressurizing. Life is good. Day of Qantas 357 so far. Dan Lynn, thanks for the support, man. Appreciate you. Is the Whiskey Compass in the mirror modeled? Actually, I don't know. So, yeah, look at that. Now you can't see it though. So those mirrors are to reflect the Whiskey Compass. Which is behind the crew, which I do not see in this airplane. I thought it was back here. I have the mirrors. Surely they have the Whiskey Compass. Where is it? I thought it was in the panel. But yeah, those are the mirrors, so theoretically, if you sat here, and you had to fly off the Whiskey Compass, you'd be able to look at your mirrors and then you'd read it. But it was behind the crew, and I swear it was right behind the crew in the panel, back either on this side or this side. Because I remember one old MD80 captain asked me one day, it's like, first thing he said was like, "Where's the Whiskey Compass?" I'm like, "Oh, it's behind you." He's like, "Okay, consider yourself briefed." All right, cool. That was the crew brief when I was jump seating. Yeah, I don't think it's actually modeled, but the mirrors are, which is kind of neat. Al W's think another beautiful day in DFW with our favorite captain. 24 months, Al. 2 years of support. Appreciate you. Looks like y'all are finally cooling down out there in the great state of Texas, so that's nice. Have a nice fall. Is 357 a lucky number? It is, and it just makes life easier when I'm always flying with the same call sign. There we go. There's your tinnitus view. It's modeled on the Dodge X-Plane 12 default? Really? That's crazy. What's going on in the world of X-Plane 12? I haven't seen it. I've been far removed from all things flight sim for the last however long it's been. 2 weeks or so. So I'm just getting caught back up into the swing of things here. Have you ever done bush flying in Papua New Guinea? And the Air New Guinea F-28 is super challenging. Honey Badger, I have not, but that sounds like something I would be interested in. I've done some flying in Papua New Guinea in the Caravan, trying to recreate some of the missionary bush pilot videos. How about them Cowboys? I know, Mitchell Taylor, about time. But here's the thing. The Cowboys, they always played down to the level of their opponent. So I've been saying that for years, and I don't know if it's changed, honestly. I really don't know if it's been changed. Yeah, they beat up on the Jets 30 to something, but that's just because the Jets are the Jets. That sound that bothers me in real life, jet cockpit, is the recirculating fan noise. Recirc fans can definitely be pretty loud. Definitely be pretty loud. In the 80 though, up front, like I remember sitting on the jump seat up here, I mean it is really quiet. Can we unfold the jump seat? Hey, look at that. Sit right here in one of the most uncomfortable jump seats in America, or in the world I should say. There you go. That's a good jump seat view. .357 SIG. Yeah, it's aight. 357 SIG is aight. 357 Magnum, man. Study letter aircraft doesn't have compass model. Refund. We'll see. You could definitely go down a rabbit hole with the whole study level situation. Didn't you say you were going to discuss the 330 Neo and cruise? Oh yeah. So the 330 Neo, I haven't. Is it out today? How much is it? How much is it? Let's look it up right now. So I saw for the first time that I was aware of the 330 Neo was last night. XP72 was flying it. How much is they selling it for? It's supposed to be out today, right? Latin VFR 330 Neo. Is it only on the store? Is it not even out yet? Someone thought it was going to be like $35 or something. So here's the thing. The whole Latin VFR scenario. People are saying, oh, it's Captain Scam of Airbus. Yes and no. But here's the thing. Latin VFR, as far as a business model and a business situation, I mean, they're doing it right. They are pumping out airplanes that everybody wants, that nobody that is, has a significant study or has a significant depth of systems has released yet. So there are no like in-depth 319s, 321s, 330s, 340s. There's none of them. But everybody wants them. So Latin VFR is just taking it up one step above Captain Scam and just giving you basic functionality with beautiful models. And I honestly think, minus some of the displays and the fonts being all wrong and all that stuff, the modeling is not bad. Like I look at the only Latin VFR exposure I have is the ones that XP72 streams, and like I see the wing textures and I see the model, and they all look pretty good. Like they look not terrible. So, and by no, I mean they're not worse than the default 330 or the 320 Neo. The fly-by-wire 320 Neo, phenomenal systems, phenomenal flying situation, but it's still a default 320. I think the Latin VFR stuff looks better than the default aircraft. So as far as a business standpoint, targeting Xbox community and just the entry-level gamers to Microsoft, because that's exactly what this is. It is a game still, technically. They're crushing it. So it's going to be up to the consumer to decide if they want that airplane or not. Now, look, I flew the A330neo from Headwind, and I had some fun doing that, but that was literally an A320neo cockpit with an A330 external. So if I could have some fun with that, there's no doubt there's going to be a ton of people having fun with the Latin VFR airplanes. Now, I don't know what the price is going to be, $35. I mean, in my opinion, I think that's a little steep for what you're getting. I think it should be more around like $15 or like $14.99. You know, I think that price would much more reflect that type of airplane. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up or not. We'll see what happens. I really would like a 330 or a 340. Headwind is updating the 330 cockpit right now. Exactly. They've been updating the 330 cockpit for however long it's been out. I'm sure once it comes out, it'll be great. But until then, I mean, Latin VFR is capitalizing on the market, man. They want to sell it, they want to make money, and they're going to make money. Although I don't necessarily think they were right on the pricing. I think they should have $20 max. I still think it's right around that $14.99. Because whenever you go through the Microsoft store, and I do this sometimes, just looking at to see what's out there. And because I never got my wish, which I was always hoping there was going to be some sort of vetting process for add-ons. That definitely did not happen. There's some absolute junk that you can waste your money on in the Microsoft store. But whenever you're going through the store and you see prices that are like $14.99, $13.99, $15, you know immediately, okay, I know what I'm getting. I'm getting an external model with maybe some functionality. For some people, that's all they want, that's all they need, and they have a lot of fun with it. Cool. You start going up above $30, then you might start getting some feedback, some negative criticisms for sure. But anyway, that's just my opinion on it. We'll see. You know, I think they're supposed to make they're supposed to update more, right? Like the 340 is supposed to be their own independent systems and all that. I don't know. We'll see what happens. A lot of talk going on these days. There is a lot of talk, not a lot of product. So I'm just going to sit back, relax, and enjoy the dramas. Speaking of drama, when's that EFB coming for the 7.3 this month? I think if you think the Restock fans are loud and civil, wait till you get to the C-130J. It's by far the loudest plane I've ever experienced. I can only imagine. I can only imagine C-130 is probably just loud all around. Inside, outside, up front, in the cargo bay. Cannot wait for that one to pop. I've been getting a little DCS itch. I'm kind of burned out on the Microsoft. You know, I think the break, about 2 weeks away or so from Flight Sim, just kind of burned out on everything we've got going on right now. Everything's kind of starting to stagnate. I love the TBM. I want to fly it more, but you can only fly it so many times in a row before people start like, oh, why are we streaming this again? Latin VFR 320 has a higher rating than the PMDG 739 on the marketplace. Is that real, Kyle? That is crazy. Well, and so that goes back to my point. As far as a business standpoint, coming from a company standpoint, like how to make money, Latin VFR is doing it right. So more power to them. They want to make money. They are ahead of the game. They know what people want. They know that I would wager to say the majority of us watching this stream right now, we are not super interested in lightly simulated airplanes, such as Latin VFR. But we are only probably less than 5%, maybe 5% of the actual Microsoft simulator, flight simulator community. Maybe 10%. I don't know. It really depends on who you ask. There are a ton of people who want exactly what Latin VFR is throwing out there. Shaq Oatmeal, the PPL himself. Guys, if you haven't already, shout out to Shaq Oatmeal. He passed his private pilot check ride. He is now an actual PPL holder. That is scary, Shaq. I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding. That's awesome, though. Congrats to Shaq Oatmeal. Love to see it. And Mr. Shaq Oatmeal is going to be flying some heavy metal here pretty soon. I can feel it. This time next year, I wonder what it's going to look like, Shaq. But I'm really excited for you, man. Good deal. Sorry I didn't get to fly the New York Jets livery into Philadelphia today. Had to pick up where we left off on the Odyssey tour, but I'll go back. I'm gonna probably maybe we'll do a, how to recover from a balked landing in Philadelphia. We'll just smash into Philadelphia 27 right a couple times, because that's what the Jets did to Jalen Hurts. The McAllen, thank you for the 10 months of support. I appreciate you. Best channel with the best community out there. Hey, McAllen, appreciate you, man. That means a lot to me. Thank you for the support. 10 months, my friend. Start Lift Academy on November 26th. Wait, this year? Like in a month? Or next November? Let me go back. Question: what happens in the real Airbus when you hit Toga right after thrust reduction? Both in the Fenix Flightbox, strange things are happening. Lost flight plan at perf and the McDo at 300 or 3,000 feet. When you hit Toga right after thrust reduction, I don't know what it does in the real airplane because I've never done it. I would imagine it depends where you are in relationship to thrust reduction altitude. Well, you're probably already above it, right? So you've already hit thrust reduction. I don't think anything would happen. Honestly, I think you just go into Toga. It might put you in go-around mode. I don't know. Maybe not. I think it depends on what your altitude is and what reduction and all that stuff is and where you are on the flight plan. I don't think it would dump the flight plan. In 2 weeks, move to Myrtle next weekend, start on the 6th. Shaq Oatmeal, man, that is exciting. Exciting news, Shaq. That is sweet, man. Tim Hamilton says, V1, not only am I approaching my solo, but I'm also getting the SG-24. Tim Hamilton, hey, after you complete your solo, you gotta fire up that SG-24 and enjoy some smoked meats, my friend. Awesome stuff. Best of luck on your solo. Remember to enjoy it. You're going to have a lot of emotions the day of your first solo, but remember, you only have a first solo one time, so enjoy it. I'll go to cruise, descent, prog page here, TOD in 125. So we're leveled off at 300. Let's go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign off. You're now free to move about the cabin. Let's take a look outside. Beautiful morning here in OZ, Australia. I'm trying to find a good view here. That's kind of a good view, actually. There we go. See some little reefs out there. I'm going to sim down just a tad. Josh, good to see you, says, hey y'all, V1, have you flown a 330 in person? Have I ever flown an A330? No, I have not ever flown an A330. I've flown on an A330. I've been in the jump seat of an A330, but I've never flown one. Man, I'm scared if I have my IFR check ride in 2 weeks. Fly with me. You got an IFR check ride in 2 weeks? Good stuff, man. Good to hear it. I'm sure you'll be fine. Don't be scared. Be confident. Go in there and make sure you're prepared, and you're going to be just fine, man. Skyfall says, go in there and cut the t-shirt. Don't be like me and wear a fancy one. You know, Skyfall, I actually did the same thing. I had a polo on my first solo, so I never actually cut it. I think, I think I had an undershirt. Maybe they cut the undershirt. I don't even remember now. I want to say my instructor didn't cut it. I think he asked me and I said no. No, I'm pretty sure he cut my undershirt now that I think about it. Yeah, don't wear a fancy shirt if the tradition is strong at your flight school. Got to push the flight out. Thank you, everyone. Truly makes my day. Get Shaq Oatmeal. Shaq Oatmeal, the true grinder, man, working hard. Flying, real life, streaming, and working. Gotta love Benny says, I want to do single pilot jet license. Any advice? Ooh, Benny, that's an interesting one. Like fly a Honda jet, a single engine. I don't even know where to start with that one because I've never been down that road. I'm sure there are places. Google's probably going to be your best friend on that one to get you pointed in the right direction. As far as single jet, so you know, you have to get your actual ratings first. You got to get a PPL at the very least first, and then depending on what single engine jet you're going after, I think Pilatus have one and Honda has one, or is it Pilatus? Can't remember. You may or may not need a type rating on it. I'm also grinding out my Gleim questions while watching. Oh, I remember the Gleim. Finally back in the air tomorrow. Weather has sucked here for the past 2 weeks. Good old Gleim, Tim Hamilton. Best jump seat? Airbus, man. A320 has got the best jump seat. A320 has got the best jump seat, no doubt about it. It's better than a 7.5, better than a 7.6. Definitely better than any of the other narrow bodies. If it goes to go around mode, it's actually correctly modeled. If it goes to go around mode, you're talking about after thrust reduction and then going into takeoff go around. I have to remember, man. I think so. I know it would go into go around mode if you're below a certain point. But if you're already in like the en route climb phase and you go to Toga, it's not going to dump your flight plan. But if you positive rate and then you go into Toga, that's like responding to a wind shear. So yeah, it's going to go Toga, SRS, and you'll actually, depending if you're in a wind shear or not, you'll get wind shear escape guidance on the flight director. Excuse me, on the flight director.
5,000 will be crossing to the east of the field.
Cirrus Vision Jet, that's the one I was thinking of. Thank you, Jeff. What about a 737 jump seat? Awful, man. 7.3 is just as bad as the MD80, if you ask me. Actually, I would almost wager to say the MD80 is better, but it's really not. The problem with the 80 jump seat is it's not even, so, like, this looks wide here, but it's not. I mean, I'm not terribly large. I'm 6'1", and my shoulders, like, you can't sit here square. The 737, you can sit here square. You could square up here and sit square on a 7.3 jump, but on the 80, you know, you can't. You're kind of, like, wedged in here. So, and these are the flaps. So this is what I was talking about. These are the footrest flaps right here. Those fold down. Took me many moons to figure that out. Many moons and many numb legs later, I found out that those are footrests. They have to fold down, though. All right, let's take a look at where we are here. We don't have a super long flight. TOD is up there at the Rumka. Let's go into plan mode. Zoom down the range a little bit. Let's go ahead and step through to our next, or let's go to our legs page, excuse me, and we'll step through and zoom you down even further. So what I want to do now is I think I actually want to go direct to Charlie Sierra, because this takes us all the way up there. So let's go direct to Charlie Sierra. That's the beginning of the approach. So let's go ahead and execute that. And we'll go direct to. And that'll help straighten things out and make life easier for our calculations as well. Flight 477. Good to see you, man. Hope all is well. 19 months as a member here on the channel. Appreciate the support, Flight Force. Hope you're doing well, man. 330 A340 got a full extra seat on top of the jump seat. That's got to be the best one in the house. If they have them, yeah. So I actually saw a 330 cockpit with 2. I think you can have 3. Whatever you can have, I've seen, whatever is standard, I saw the opposite. I think I saw one less, which I was kind of surprised on. They said it was a funky one. It was an old Airways 330. I can't remember. I think I was at Philly. It was Philly to Orlando on an Airbus A330. And I was in the jump seat. Isn't that crazy? An A330 Philly to Orlando, and it was full. I was in the jump seat with one other guy. And They said they had one with one seat or something. I can't remember. Whatever gets you back home, exactly, AJ. Whatever seat gets you back home. Would you please perform a go-around on the MD80? Hopefully not. Nothing is better than the 757. Are you talking about jump seats? Because if you are, the 757 jump seat is actually pretty terrible. I would almost say the 7.5 jump is worse than the 7.3 jump because it's almost like the 737 second jump seat. It's behind the captain. Unless you're in a 7.5 that has 2 jump seats and you sit in the other one. But the primary one that I've jump seated on a ton of Delta 7.5s, and most of them, I think except for the Northwest fleet, has one jump seat, and it's directly behind the captain. And if that captain is any height above like 5'10", he brings the seat back, it's pretty tight on that seat. But if you're talking about just the airplane in general, yeah, 7.5 is awesome. Bluebird 7.5, when? Matthew, I agree with you, man. One thing that can't be argued is that Airbus has the most comfortable cockpit in the business. Exactly. There is no arguing the comfort level of the A320 series. Now, one cockpit that I would love to jump seat on would be the A350. I've never been up front of an A350. I would love to see what that cockpit's like. We need a jump seat review video. Just go through all the jump seats out there. You know what has a surprisingly good jump seat too is the Embraer series. The Embraer, I should say, not the Embraer series. 170, 190s. Hold on, it's almost texting me. The 170s, 190s have a pretty decent jump seat. I would say it's pretty darn close to the Airbus style. Depending on how tall you are, the Embraer 170 jump seat is maybe more comfortable than the 737 jump seat. So, Embraer 170, 190 has a really nice jump seat as well. You could have up to 2 extra seats on the 330, 340 in addition to the fold-down jump. Okay, so you can have 3 full jump seats. Okay, and I think I was on, I think I was on one that only had 2, but they said they normally have 3. Because I thought that was kind of weird. It was my first, I was still on the Embraer, and I rode up front of that 330, and I was expecting there to be another jump seat in there, and they're like, yeah, there is, but we only have 2, or something like that. Because the 320 family only has 2. Some of them only have 1, depending on this. A lot of times they pull, not a lot of times, but some airlines will pull out that second jump seat up front, so we only has 1 jump seat. Had a guy on my jump seat for a 5-hour flight a couple of weeks ago, and even though it's a bus, he had to be numb by the end of the flight. Yeah, any jump seat for even an Airbus. Well, I've been on a couple 5-hour Airbus ones. Matthew, I was on the MD80 for 7.5 hours, I think. It was over 7 hours on the jump on an MD80 going Philly to DFW, snowstorm, 2 gate returns, de-icing. I'm pretty sure I have permanent damage in my spine and my hips from that jump seat, right? All right, we are getting close to TOD. Let's go ahead and dial in 200 VNAV, and we'll go ahead and let it VNAV itself down here. And then we'll take a look at the approach. No 4th relief pilot and rarely a 3rd. Yeah, like I said, having 1 less on an X Airways makes sense too. Yeah, that does make sense. Chase B, you're a huge 757 fan? Well, I'm sure you're aware of the Bluebird 757. I cannot wait for that airplane. I got to be honest with you, with all the impending releases that we have coming up, we got the 777, we've got a 330 somewhere, somehow, from someone will release one. The Fenix 321, 319, all that stuff in the pipeline. That 757 from Bluebird Sim, even though it's someone we don't know, we don't have a previous design from, they haven't made any other airplanes that I'm aware of. I'm really, really intrigued in that Bluebird 75. Really looking forward to that one. there's just something about the way that I've seen them do some of their PR videos and stuff that I'm like, I think these guys get it. Could be totally wrong, but I don't think so in that case. All right, now I think it will VNAV down, right? So we're VNAV level. Do I have to push this? 200 is armed. Let's see if it starts down here. MD11, exactly. MD11 is coming out too, but I think, I don't know. I think I'm more excited for the 7.5 over MD11, if I'm being completely honest. I love the tri-jets, but of all the tri-jets, the MD11 is probably my least favorite. Doesn't mean I don't like it. It's so much, it's basically like learning, I mean, it's another not all glass, but super advanced glassy airplane, whereas, you know, an L1011 or a 727, a little more round gauge. A300, 600, so McAllen, I am looking forward to that one a lot as well. The A300, 600, because I am a huge fan of that style of airplane. I don't like that it's going to push to 24, but at the same time, I do not want it to be rushed. Exactly. And who knows, you know, maybe it'll be released with Microsoft 24 when that comes out anyway. MD11 is a low design budget 777, exactly. That's a good way to put it. How are you liking the 320? Oh, you were talking about Matthew.
Qantas 1175, easy 27 Whiskey Juliet.
This is Qantas 1175, go ahead.
Are you following for the flyover on the CS VOR, or are you going to be following to the right?
Negative. I'm going to be on the FC Uplow 8 Victor arrival, so I won't be overflying. I'll be basically making a left base into the runway.
All right, 113.0. We need to set up our radios here. 13.0 CS.
Will be left base as well, but
Listen to the hill. We're going to take course 355 outbound.
I'll be on a
initially.
As well.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to put 355 on nav 2 here. 355 outbound. And then inbound course on the VOR after we proceed outbound to Sunny and come back around. We're looking at... oh, actually, what does our box show? Does our box show just a straight up PT here? Plan mode. So it shows CS D3550. I'm looking at the chart here. Oh, that's... Why is that not...
Traffic at Qantas like 911. You are Zulu 115, sorry.
Sunny transition. I'm trying to look at the Zulu chart here on Navigraph. Alright, it says sunny, but basically the same thing. So we're going out to 3550 arc left, 15 DME, CF15 inbound for the Loke, which is going to be 109.9 with a 150 inbound. So we're going to put this one 109.9 and a 150 inbound course on nav 1. We're going to track outbound on nav 2. And again, we'll just be monitoring raw data, but we're going to be flying it hopefully in FMS. So
175 or 911 here. We're going to run onto the 13-mile marker and then turn back in. Final.
Let's see who we're going to cut off today. So glide slope, Loke fail, that shouldn't
I'm on a
be
left base.
there.
I'm doing the
Loke
8
fail
Victor
should
arrival.
be
I'm going to
there.
proceed direct
I don't know if
bend, and
this
I'll
would
just
be
do
there,
kind of a straight in.
because we're not doing
final
a
approach 15.
ILS approach, but I can't remember if that's
Alright, I was
accurate
just
or
going to
not.
keep the speed up to I stay in front of you.
Is it me or the flight deck performance very bad?
How far out does the VR?
No, I'm talking about in this airplane. In this airplane, the performance has been really good.
It's literally, the turn is at 13.
Yes, now that you push the out, it will descend on its own, unlike your modern 320. Just Flight 300 will be great since it's really old style with the engineer panel. Agreed, Fly to Live. Agreed.
I'll see. I might be able to get it in front of you if that'll work for you, because I'm kind of on basically a dogleg final doing the visual approach, the noise abatement.
So we
If
are
that doesn't work, I'll break off and I'll just do visual left downwind and follow you in.
44 miles.
I'm about 5 miles from the turn right now to final, so yeah, depending where you are, you let me know what's best for you.
All right, sounds good. I'm going to get a little closer. I'm going to see about where you end up, where I end up, and then we'll go from there.
Cancel traffic, Qantas 357. We're at a flight level 250. Descending for the Loca Zulu, runway 15. We'll be taking the approach from the Charlie Sierra fix. We're about 40 miles out from Charlie Sierra. Cancel traffic. Is the low? Oh, the low FPS? No, what you're getting, unfortunately, is Streamlabs. It's tanked the whole stream. We're losing frames. Like
I'm just going to kind of do a left 180. I'll make a little
frames.
visual left downwind. I'll follow you in. I'll final.
So, I don't know.
Current traffic.
I'm getting really tired of the internet out here. Moving back to Texas. But yeah, that's what you're seeing the low FPS from, because the sim is running smooth as glass, man. I was actually very impressed with how good the performance was on the ground, especially with the Leo. Cap, would you be willing to sell the commercial levers of your honeycomb to me? It looks like they're going out of business. What? The commercial levers? Who's going out of business? Commercial levers. You talking about the 1, 2, 3, 4s? Key 6, good to see you, man. Come back to the Bay Area. We'd love to have you. No. I'm pretty sure I would be like, I'm not even going to go there. With my, let's just say this, Key 6, with the amount of purchasing I've been doing recently, I'm not wanted in the state of California. Callie Simmer, speaking of California, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. 17 months support. Appreciate you. Hey there, Captain. It's been a minute. Hope you're having a great day. Glad I caught the flight mid-flight. Well, better late than never. Callie Simmer, welcome on board. We're on our descent down into Cairns, Australia. Hope all is well for you out there on the West Coast. I'll be in your neck of the woods here coming up for, I don't know, basically a week. So, yeah, Sunday I've got pretty cush LA trip. I normally don't do overnights. I like to just do day trips, but I kept these 2 LA trips because I really want to get crepes at this crepe place in Long Beach. So I got an LA trip on Sunday, be there for 24 hours, then I come back, and then I come back to LA on Tuesday for 24 hours. And then on Thursday or Friday, I go back to LA for a wedding.
Cairns traffic, easy 27 Whiskey Juliet. We are 310 from
Key 6, we
Waypoint
have
Apollo, and we'll be
you guys have fiber, that's for sure.
advising of our base turn when we get there.
Yeah, best to leave those discussions.
Link 1175 on a left downwind 15 will be number 2. Follow traffic up final.
Best to leave those discussions offline.
Traffic.
All right, 3,000 is set. Let me look at my initial crossing over the CFVOR is 5,000. So if you have charts, there's no sense in me showing all the different charts all the time. But we're descending down to 5,000 feet, not on the Mad Dog anyway. Down to 5,000 for the CF. We're going to proceed outbound on 350, flip it around, 1099, 150 inbound. Our MDA is going to be 200. I'm trying to remember where I set the good old MDA. PFD, ND, is there a DH knob somewhere? Oh, I'll just do it on this line, backup one. We'll go right here. That is set there. Come down here to the init ref. We're going to be landing flaps 40, 134, 1099. That looks good. Magic barrel ref key, we're still above 299, we're still above transition altitude, so we're still looking good. But we're out of 18, descending down, looking good. Let me get the recorder ready. Now, I did pick up the Thai Models Cairns Airport, and I must say, Thai Models has a little bit of a reputation of maybe not being awesome in some aspects, at least for, I think, X-Plane. I had a couple Thai Models sceneries that I was not impressed with. However, see for yourself when we land here in Cairns. I'm happy with the airport purchase, and if we come back to Australia or do any more flying in Australia, probably visit this airport again. Nice little airport, kind of niche, tucked away, and been enjoying it. So we do have the Thai Model scenery. Speed brake is coming up. We're descending down. There's actually, you can see the airport right there. There's Cairns. Now, I think we're high, so we're trying to play catch up here. Aviator Nick, thank you for the 16 months of support. Good to see you. Picking up, I'm picking up or it's a sunny morning and V1 is streaming. Today is a good day. Aviator Nick, indeed it is. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you stopping by. And hope you have a good rest of your day as well, Aviator
Carrying
Nick.
traffic at Lake 1175, turning final, runway 15.
Oh, we got a lot of traffic coming on here. We need to listen. So I want to just go.
Kansas traffic is 27 Whiskey Juliet, returning base, and we are 10 miles from final track.
Hold on here. I'm going to do a couple things. We're going to go speed 250. Manual speed, Vertica speed, 3,000. That's me vertical speeding us down. We got to catch up here. Kansas traffic, Qantas 357, rate of 13,000, crossing over the Charlie Sierra VOR. We're going to proceed outbound and then make the arc inbound for 15 Kansas traffic. 250 knots, 13,000, magic barrel ref key. Oh, it's at 10,000, I think, is transition.
You just cut me off today.
Trying. Kelly Simmer says, I'm picking up wrong side at Burbank in a couple of weeks. Told them I'm going to have In and Out in hand. Let me know when you hit LAX. Absolutely, Callie Simmer. Oh, good old In and Out. Haven't had an In and Out in a while. I do love a good In and Out. Yeah, that's right. Y'all are doing World Flight, right? That'll be exciting. I tried to get Wrong Side to come fly with me this month, but he didn't want to. He's like, well, I have to jump seat here. He didn't want to fly with me, so make sure you give him some grief. All right, 11,000. Let's get our lights on. As we descend down, we get all our good lights on here and here. Seatbelt sign is coming on. Speed brakes extended. Cabin is depressurizing. Here comes 10,000 feet. Magic barrel ref is set to 90907. TCAS is in standby the whole flight. That's not good.
Net Lake 1175, about a 6-mile final, runway 15. Kansas traffic.
Nice autopilot disconnect.
Thank you.
That's pretty good. You hear that sometimes in real life too. All right, here we go. We're out of 9,000. We're a little bit high on profile, but I think we can catch up to it. We can continue our descent down to 3,700. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Actually, I'll set 4 for now. Just technically, yeah, we'll be fine though by the time we get there. We're looking good. You can see now on nav 2, we are pretty much joining. I'll put you in green needle mode.
Kansas traffic is
250
We're
outbound.
now turning final track and established localizer for 15 Kansas traffic.
Okay, so I think there must be a different approach loaded in here. Because I don't know why it's not showing 150 or 350 outbound. Oh, yeah, it is. We're just in that cone of confusion. That's why they call it the cone of confusion. 350. You can see there our CDI is getting centered up here, so we're basically tracking outbound. All right, now we'll go ahead and set 3,000. And we'll also dial our speed back if we can. Let's come right back to 180. Now flaps or slat speed. We're still looking good here. Good thing about the Mad Dog is you can really slow her down.
Here's traffic, Quadrant 911, we're clear of all that.
All right, speed brakes coming in. Slats extend. Here we go. This is gonna help slow us down. Oh, I didn't arm the altitude. You're right. Thank you. 3,000. That's that trim running. We're going to continue to slow her on down. 240. Let's go all the way down to 220. Actually, I got it published right here. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, we're probably good. 280. Here we go. Flaps 11. 180 on the speed. Below 240, flaps 15. Can't traffic, Qantas 357, we're outbound. 15 miles, joining the left arc to join final for runway 15, can't traffic. 180 knots, flaps 15. Here comes the turn, we'll arm the speed brake. And what we can do, we forgot to arm the this for takeoff. We'll do medium brakes, or minimum brakes. Oh, we can only arm that at gear down, so I'll try to remember to do that. We're arcing inbound. You can see we got our LS is on. The flags are gone. Now we're looking for 150 inbound, so I can actually back us up here. I'm going to go 109.9. Spin this sucker to 150.
Did it float a little bit? Yeah, it was a little floaty. It was probably about 2,000 feet down the runway. Yeah, same here.
Love the cockpit sounds. The old plane sounds like you're stuck inside a pinball machine. It does. It sure does. Now, I have questions about what's happening here next. So, CF15. Okay. I see what's happening. That must be for the mist.
Cap traffic 827 Whiskey Juliet. We're 5 miles final for 15.
He's 5 miles out, so we're pretty nicely spaced. Good work getting everybody spaced out in there today. 150 on the heading, just as a reference here. I know it's not straight, but we're looking good. We'll go gear down, fully configure once we turn inbound, and we'll hand fly it once we turn inbound as well. Looks like our V speed 134 on the K knots. I love the light on the engine nacelle. I love that. That's probably one of my favorite parts. Engine nacelle lights. Just about to turn inbound here. Can't traffic Qantas 357, we're turning inbound runway 15. Cancel. I love that 3D model. It is a great looking 3D model. You see the black smoke behind us. That's pretty cool. All right, rolling out. We are a little left of course. You can see it's correcting just like it's showing there on the ND. Once we're inside of 11 miles, we can start all the way down. We'll probably just hand fly it too. So in that case, recording is on. And where's the runway? Runway is right out there. Runway is in sight. Let's go autopilot off. Which I guess I don't have bound. That's interesting. Do it this way here. Autopilot's off. Auto thrust is off. We'll go ahead and kill the flight directors. And we're hand flying her now. When I say 134, we'll bug speed for a reference here. 134. Start on trickling down. Oh, I guess we're not quite at that 11-mile mark yet. We'll put the TRP into climb or takeoff in case we need to go around. All right, there comes 11 miles. Let's go gear down.
Gear down.
Beautiful morning. Down 3 green, we're slowing down. Let's go ahead and arm you.
Count traffic easy 27 with Juliet. We are vacating left.
I don't know why I can't arm it. That's kind of interesting. cancel that caution as we configure here.
Flaps 28.
And cancel traffic 357. The wind is a little bit spicy on the approach, and there's a bit of a flowy wind just over the threshold.
Thanks for the report. Cancel traffic, Qantas Flight 357, about a 10-mile final, 1-5, cancel. Alright, we're slowing her up. Flaps are coming full for cinematic purposes. Love the flap on this airplane though. The textures, the flap model, 10 for 10 on this Leo. That's what a $100 trailing edge flap will get you. Love it though. Looks really good. Let's not stall it. There we go. Let's fly the airplane. 134 on the approach. We got 15 knot wind. Everyone's saying it's a little bit spicy down there. This yoke is kind of driving me nuts there, so I'm going to get rid of the yoke. Runway's in sight. I'm going to come off the approach course here. I don't know if this is offset a tad. It's either offset or we were off course. I think it's offset. Be a good briefing there to have on landing. Oh, flaps 28 plus to arm. Thank you. Let's arm, because I wore actual shoes to the office, so I don't have my tactical flip-flops installed, so we might wheel back on landing. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and go medium breakage, because if I push on the brakes at all, we're going to roll backwards in the chair. All right. Auto brakes are armed. There it goes. The little auto brake light is extinguished. We're on slope. We're nice and center line here. It looks like we've got a headwind here. 1.5, 15 knots, pretty much on the nose. We'll bring a little extra juice in. We'll be our own ground speed mini. We're going to Airbus it a little bit. VAP is 134. We'll give it about 5 or 6 knots here until we get down close to the threshold. So I will say that the engine sounds up front here with the FT Sim are a little bit over-exaggerated, but I'd still rather have them than zero sounds for the whole airplane as default. Yeah, like you hear the you hear that whine up at end too. Don't really hear that in the real 80.
1,000.
Ooh, it is definitely a little bit of spice coming, a little bit of chop coming down here. Cancel traffic, Qantas 357. We're on a 3-mile final, 2-mile final, runway 15 cancel. I wonder if it's getting a little burble off that mountain. Whoa. We just lost half of it.
Dingoes on the runway.
Dingoes on the runway.
4
Inside. Well, look at our air. Yeah, look, now it's really spicing around.
300.
Bring that power out a little bit. Got a little fast there. But we lost all of it, and now we got it all back. So coming back down to our ref speed.
200.
These pappies are way off, I think.
100.
Because I'm high, and they're showing 4 reds, so that's interesting.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Oh, be legal. Oh, yeah.
2 in reverse.
2 in reverse. That seemed firm. But I knew if I floated it for the butter, everybody would have been like, not legal.
60 knots.
Hey, minus the pappies being way far down the threshold, though. I like that approach. I was like this little scenery situation here. Good runway texture. All right, let's go ahead and auto brakes disarm. Let's go ahead and exit. We'll take the next right here. Oh wait, no, where's the... Oh, we gotta go left. Yeah, we gotta go left to the terminal. The winds were pretty interesting though. Pretty dynamic on the winds. I love to see it though. Because we were pretty much stable and then we lost all of our headwind. We got slow and low, put in that power, and then the wind came back and we were fast. Love to see that dynamic wind situation there. Pretty cool. All right, let's go ahead and clean it up. I don't know how this airplane handles replay, so I'll stop the recording. We won't shut it down for replay either. We'll just take it into the gate with all our lights on. We'll go park next to that other Qantas. Actually, we'll park next to Team Vodka. Gate 22. Good performance here at this scenery, which I like. Is there an MD80 line? We'll erp it right here. Erp. Brakes are set. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cairns, Australia. Beautiful little flight. Man, that was really cool. Too bad the internet sucked. But nice little airport scenery here. Super good on frames. Obviously, we're not going to Punta Cana, San Juan, Sacramento. Alright, so the departure board is obviously wrong. But for awesome frames, neat little airport here. We're going to do a little TBM flight out of here next. But looks like we're all down. Look at this. IAE engines. Look at that. Man, I tell you what, Phoenix better hurry up or else I'm going to have to buy a Latin VFR. 320 to get those IAEs. Alright. We are down... I didn't hear how far out that guy was. I think he's still a little ways out. Alright. Let's go to replay mode. Let's check it out. See how we did. How far out are you? Giovanni is in the house. 41 months. Appreciate the support, Giovanni. Hey there, Cap. Hope all is well. Captain Gio. Going with the full name. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the support. All is well here. Hope you're good, my friend. Alright, let's extend our flappage. Let's get them out. We'll go into the replay here. Giovanni, you're right. Spags. This is home turf, right? Wait, was it Cairns? Man. Aviator Nick, gotta head to work. See you guys later. Thanks for stopping by, Aviator Nick. Appreciate you. Alright. Where's that other traffic? I don't see him on final. Don't see him out there. Alright. Let's see how we did. Replay is on.
Gear up, lights out. Positive rate.
2500.
So I think it actually wanted the proper flap selection, which is pretty cool. And we see them come down in real time. So when this happens, it means it wants to do real-time flaps. So I didn't need to extend them full. Because now I'll extend them full manually, and I think they'll stop doing that. Maybe. Yep. So I didn't even need to drop the flaps for replay. It would have done it automatically for me. All right, let's go into replay cam. Yeah, Spags came from Cans. Man. I think one of the first flights I watched, no, maybe not one of the first I watched, but I remember, for some reason, I feel like every time I tuned in to an XP72 stream, when I was on an overnight in Florida, like Orlando, he'd be flying the MD80, and Spags would be there. I mean, Spags was always there, but especially when the 80 was in. He was flying the 80. Good times. Good old days. That tower view reminds me of Hilo when XP came up well short at the runway. Oh, man, Mr. Martini, that was hilarious. I remember that too. Alright, let's take a look at our landing here. Wow, what a beautiful shot. Let's go all the way down to the replay, or to the landing, and then we'll leave it. Leave a long one. Wow, is that some contrail? Look at that! What? Is that new? So that is so cool. That's there in real life. Typically, they'll be right off the edge of that flap. But it must be just perfect amount of humidity, unless that happens on every flight. That is neat to see that. Let's see how we did here from wing view first. That's been there for a while, says AJ. Man, I guess I don't fly this airplane enough. Oh, hell yeah. I think that looks pretty good. Let's see how we did right here. So those pappies, they should be over here. They shouldn't be at the end of the touchdown zone. Oh, hold it, hold it. Could have held it for more butter, but we wanted to be legal. Just a hair off the center line there. I will take it. I will take it. So one thing I've noticed though is I can't like go into, there we go. Disconnect from there, watch this. View. Bring it back. Let's watch this. Beautiful. I think Spags would be proud of that one, right? I think he'd be proud of that one. All right, Chad. That was a fun little ender. I'll go back to this view here. I'm gonna leave y'all with that one. I'll leave you with a replay or two. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm not sure what we're gonna do next. Actually, I am sure. We're gonna fly TBM next. Ooh, I really want to fly Fokker though. I think we gotta take the TBM up to Lizard Island, then back down, and then head back down towards Sydney. So I think that's what's on the slate, unless we get an IE release or a 319 release. I think that's what's coming up next. Maybe tomorrow, we'll see what the schedule allows. I'm still working on some stuff at the house. This weekend I'll probably be gone. So until the next one, whenever it is, stay safe. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. Thank you for the support, donations, the membership gifts, smashing that like button. Beautiful water right there. All right. Thank y'all. Stay safe. Stay healthy. I'm V1. See you.